Please excuse the sound of my voice. I'm hella sick today. Hello everyone and welcome back to Kroof Gaming. As you can probably hear from my voice and that intro, I'm quite sick today. It always happens around the winter area, so I'm dealing with that on a daily basis, and I've tried to start this video countless times, but I've been coughing, so I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it now. But today we're gonna be talking about the Discipline Priest in World of Warcraft. I haven't done a World of Warcraft video in a while, so I thought it would be an appropriate day. And in the background, you shall be seeing some PvP gameplay. Recently, I've been getting into a lot of PvP in World of Warcraft. I don't know why. I didn't used to like it, but I think I've finally changed. But I still have been doing PvE. But for the footage today, it will be PvP. So first off, I'm going to talk about how I play my Discipline Priest in PvP. And the first thing we have to do when we're talking about how we play things are go over the talents. So we're going to switch over to the talent section right now. So the talent section, first thing that I'm taking for tier 15 is Castigation, because I want to get that extra penance bolt off, because this is more of a damage build rather than pure support, or I would have taken the Penitent. Body and Soul. I've taken Body and Soul because I'm using Power Word Shield quite often, and it gives people movement speed. Angelic Feather is a little wonky. Next, I'm taking Shining Force because it's an extra CC. Psychic Voice is good, but I just would rather have a second one than have one that has reduced cooldown. Then I'm taking Power Word Solace for that extra damage. Shield Discipline and Mindbender are both very good talents to take, so, you know, it's kind of optional. Contrition, excuse me, Contrition. I'm taking Contrition because it's Contrition. You know, you get 3 extra seconds of Atonement. Power Infusion and Twist of Fate are, yeah, they're interesting. And then I'm taking Halo for a large AoE. Divine Star is more for arena play and sometimes dungeons. Halo is for more battleground PvP and raiding. Clarity of Will is good, but I'd rather play with actual damage. And then Purge the Wicked for extra damage, and a Dot. It's a little bit more powerful than Shadow Word Pain. The other two options are a little iffy, so yeah, those are the talents I'm taking. Now to go over the basic tips / gameplay playstyle that I like to try to achieve whenever I'm in a PvP battleground or in a dungeon or even in a raid. As a healer, this should be generally well known if you don't already. Basically, as a healer, you want to keep your party / allies alive any means possible. You're typically weak, but in the case of the Discipline Priest, you can actually pack quite a punch. I was quite surprised, or have continued to be surprised at how much damage they can actually pump out. So if you play Disc Priest, you can manage your own for a certain amount of time until you get ganked up on and then immediately die and go to your grave. But as a healer, you typically want to do that with allies, and you're going to try to keep them alive. Now, the traditional sense of healing is to just have spells that will directly heal someone. But as the Discipline Priest, it's a little different. You have certain spells that will heal allies, but they apply a buff called Atonement. And that Atonement is then on the target for however long. And then, through your damage abilities, half of your damage will be converted to healing. So it's quite a unique play style of healing, and it's one that I really like doing because I'm both big on the damage and healing side of things in games, so this fits me quite well. But more specifically for Discipline Priests, you have a spell called Power Word Shield. It's one of your most vital skills ever. Like, it's really important, so don't forget about it. I typically try to use it off cooldown, typically on a tank or someone who's taking heavy fire. In dungeons, use it on a tank. In PvP, use it on whoever's taking mass damage. You don't typically want to place it on yourself, only in certain situations where you're low on health and you just really need that extra shield. So that's Power Word Shield, very useful. Other skills, Plea, very basic, small heal, but does apply Atonement. Shadow Mend is one of your larger heals, and it will hurt your target over time, or hurt your ally over time, but that damage can usually be negated through other means and healing, so you shouldn't worry about it too much. But all those spells apply Atonement. There's also Power Word Radiance, I believe. I forgot the name of it. Oh my god, I'm such a bad priest. Hold on, let me check. It is Power Word Radiance. Okay. Just checking. You have a skill called Powered Radiance. And it's an AoE ability that will apply atonement to people in an area. So those are your spells that apply atonement. And then you will deal damage through basically 3 spells: Smite, Penance, and Power or Shadow Word Pain. These 3 spells are your bread and butter. You can augment them with talents. And then you can get other abilities like Schism or Power Word Solace, and also Purge the Wicked, which can be added to your attacking skill set. So you want to use these and just burst down high priority targets as fast as possible. And while playing a healer in PvP, you typically want to stay in the back and try not to bring too much attention to yourself. You don't really want to be in the spotlight because you will get focused. So what I try to do is kind of blend in with everybody. If I see a large wave coming, I typically step back a little bit and let them take the front charge. So be aware of your positioning. Positioning is always helping. And also your crowd control abilities. In my skill set, I take Shining Force, which is a knockback. And then you also have Psychic Scream, which is an AoE fear. Make sure to use these in situations where you need to. They will really save your life. They've saved mine quite a bit. Now, to talk about the actual performance, the numbers, and the overall overview on how this spec actually plays compared to its Holy counterpart. And for those of you who don't know, the Holy spec is much more of a traditional healer with like direct healing. Now, just to say, Discipline Priests, I don't know what it is, but playing in Discipline Priest, I feel like I've had a lot more success with Discipline compared to Holy. I don't know why. It might just be my playstyle. I do like the damaging and the quick buffing and then damaging and then rebuffing and then doing more damage. I like that quick sporadic burst gameplay because there's always something to do. Numbers wise, I feel, or I've noticed that I heal more in Discipline Priest, though in some situations I'm much more effective in Holy because Discipline Priest doesn't have that, oh crap, gotta save everyone's life button. They kind of do. Powered Barriers is a little, but if you really need that healing, Discipline Priest really doesn't have it. It's more of a preventative spec. So in those situations, Holy does definitely outbeat Discipline Priest by far. But on the damage side as well, as you probably could have guessed, Discipline Priest just wipes the floor with them. As Holy, you can do a little bit of damage, but you're not really there to do damage. For Discipline Priest, you're kind of there to do both. You do substantial healing that isn't really, you can't really brush it off. It's quite large in certain situations and certain combos. And then your damage as well is quite high. If you look at our charts, or my little recount counter, you shall see that I'm about in 2nd place on the healing meters and about 4th in the damage meters. Of course, it does depend on how many healers you have in there, but still, I did manage quite a decent amount of healing and damage. So overall, Discipline Priest is quite a viable option in both PvP and PvE. Now, in PvP, it's really fast-paced, so you have to be on your toes, but in PvE, it's a bit more slow and strategic. You have to really be careful in who you're giving Power Word Shield to and who you're putting Atonement on, and you really need to be careful of your cooldowns as well, because you can combo them. What I typically like to do, my favorite thing to do, is use the Artifact ability, Light's Wrath, get Atonement on everyone, use Light's Wrath, chain that into Penance and then a Solace, and then hopefully they have Purge the Wicked beforehand, so the Purge the Wicked spreads through the Penance. If you had no idea what I said, yeah, it's a little fun combo that I like to do, and you can really chain your skills together to get maximum DPS and healing at the same time. So it is a spec that requires a lot of thought and a lot of attention to cooldowns and where people are in certain game modes. So overall, it's really a really fun spec. Compared to Holy, I don't know. I might just not be a fan of Holy. I think I just might be a little bit more of a fan of Disc. But hey, that's just me. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. It was fairly quick video. Just giving an overview for beginners on the Discipline Priest and how they play. And hope you enjoyed the PvP gameplay. I shall be doing more Discipline Priest and Holy and Shadow Priest videos in the future. So stay tuned for those. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below, and subscribe for more World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2 content. And I will see you guys next time, and hopefully I won't be sick. Bye guys!